a side-by-side thing here. Hi, everybody. So we're looking at number 15 on page 42. Again, this was due at 9 o'clock this morning, but let's take a look at it. Everyone good? All right. Colby, can you read it off for me, number 15? The direction's right above it, okay? No, right above it. The direction's right above it. Okay. So rigid motion, which we kind of talked about yesterday, we don't have to just have to determine whether or not it's rigid and talk about what makes it rigid and what makes it not. All right, so the given information gives us a mapping of x, y maps to 2x plus 4y. Okay? And if we look at the graph on the page, we've got P, Q, and R. All right, Hope, looking at P, what's the ordered pair for P? Oh. Thank you. Negative 2 and 3. And Hope, what's the ordered pair for Q? Thank you. And what's the ordered pair for R? I would agree. Okay, so now we're going to apply this rule, this mapping, this transformation to P, and we're going to come up with P prime. So to do that, we're going to take 2, we're going to substitute, that's the rule, that's the property we're using. We're going to substitute negative 2 in for x plus 4. Lily, does that make sense? Huh? Yeah-huh? Yeah-huh. What do we do for the y, Lily? Thank you. And we keep it the same. Landon, what about Q? What do we do with Q? Like I said, we're consistent in this class. We're a mess. We put negative 1 in for x. And then we add 4. So we substitute negative 1 in. 2 times negative 1 plus 4. What happens to the y, Lily? You're right again. All right, let's do, Maddie, what do we do for the R? Outstanding. Hope, what do we do with the Y? This isn't hard, it just takes a little time, but it's not hard. Now, all of us should be able to do the math in our head. You don't have to, you can use a calculator, but you should be able to do the math in your head. What's 2 times negative 2? What's 2 times negative 2? Negative 4. What's negative 4 plus 4?
0.
So my P prime X coordinate is 0. What's my Y coordinate? Didn't change. There's my ordered pair for P prime. Piece of cake. Colby, what's 2 times negative 1? Huh? What's negative 2 plus 4? What's my Y coordinate? Thank you. That was Q. You're right. It's negative 3. All right, let's go to R prime. Laney. What's 2 times negative 3? What's negative 6 plus 4? try it again. What's negative 6 plus 4? Thank you. And what's the y value? Lainey, what's the y value? There's our ordered pairs for our new triangle. Okay, so maybe you don't have graphing paper, so I'm going to do this like I don't have graphing paper. All right, what's my original? Negative 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There's my P. Negative 1, negative 3. 1, 2, 3. Negative 1, negative 3. Negative 3, negative 3. P, Q, R. There's the original, which is already given to you. Now let's plot the new triangle, R prime triangle. P prime, Q prime, R prime. P prime, Q prime, R prime. That's hard to say. All right. P prime, 0, 3. P prime. Q prime, 2, negative 3. And R prime, negative 2, negative 3. Okay, so there it is. It's not easy to see, but what's the transformation? What happened on this triangle? Somebody tell me. Maddie? Horizontal stretch. How much? Outstanding. Good job, Maddie. What else? Maddie? How many? Hold on. How many? I'm going to keep asking until you change your answer. How many? Translation by 4 units. To the right. Now, it doesn't seem like it because where was this at? This was at 2, right? And then it went to 0. Well, the reason why is because it's also stretched. So if you didn't stretch it, it would have been a complete 4 units. That makes sense? Okay. And so like you did the same thing with the R, right? If you look at R to the R prime, that's only 1 unit. But it's actually 4, and it's because it was stretched. That make sense? Does everyone follow that? All right. I didn't make that point in last period, so I'm glad we brought that up this period so you understand why it's 4 and not 1. Okay? Does that make sense, Elise? Yeah, really? Okay. Bond?
Anytime you want to send me a clip of Jim, feel free to. J-I-M. Ignatowski. Vacuum cleaner show.
Did you see it?
Yeah,
Did
send
you?
it to me.
I didn't know if you watched it. Insert name here.
Oh, I didn't get the vacuum cleaner job.
Nickname.
Maggie,
Yeah,
did you bring that note today, by any chance? What, you can bring me a note?
I do not have a note. Can I
Okay.
give it to you on Monday?
All right, thanks. My day could use a little brightening.
Oh, it's so funny. I sent him a video clip of an old salesman that he thought he was selling carpet cleaner, and he made a mess on the carpet, and he goes to his briefcase to use the carpet cleaner, you know, the vacuum, to, oh, I'll clean up this mess, right? And he'd put dirt in it and an old ashtray and grease from an old, I mean, he put all kinds of stuff, and he was rubbing it in with his foot, and he goes to his briefcase to open up, like the vacuum, and he pulls out an encyclopedia. And he was like, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, I didn't get the vacuum cleaning sales job. I got the job that sells encyclopedias. And so he had this mess on this lady's floor. Oh, it's hilarious.
What did he do?
He just left it. And she was just distraught. She's like, my carpet. Oh, so funny. Mean. It was mean. It wasn't that funny. It was mean. No, it was still funny. It's still funny. Okay. Are we okay with number 15? James, you got it? I already talked to you about homework. Did I already say it?
No.
There's no pathway. None. Pass this class without doing the homework. And it's not just doing the homework. That's not the point. I mean, it is part of the point. But the completion of the homework helps you comprehend. And then you can perform on quizzes and tests. Does that make sense? So just listening to me is great. That's minimal. But the homework takes it another level. You got to do the homework. You will not. The quizzes are harder than the homework. The quizzes are difficult. But you'll be fine on the quizzes if you do your homework. You'll be fine on the tests if you do your homework. If you're not doing your homework, it's going to be really difficult. Yes. We're going to do number 11. Okay? And I know that homework seems easy when I'm doing it. I get it, Hope. Okay? Now, now listen. I like you all. Some of you, I don't know you very well. I like you all. However, I want you to hear me. Hear me really clear, Lainey. Okay? You're going to have to struggle a little bit. And I like you enough to let you struggle. Let me say that again. You have to struggle. You've got to work through it. You can't just say, oh, I give up. Got to keep. Perseverance is a huge thing. Okay? And so the first time that you come to a problem and you get stuck, don't quit. I can't take, Keithan, hold out your hand. I can't take your hand and lead you to everything. I can't. It's not right. It's not good for you, for your life. It's not. I'm going to guide you as much as we can, but eventually you're going to struggle, and that's okay. Okay? And it's not because I don't like you. Does that make sense, Hope? Does that make sense? Okay. All right. I just want to be clear that it is not easy. Geometry is not an extremely difficult course. You're going to take harder classes, but it's also not a walk in the park. It's not a walk in the park either. Okay? So there is going to be a little bit of struggle. Persevere. Okay? All right. Now, let's do number 11. I think I got enough room down here at the bottom to get it in. All right. Number 11 says, use the points H. Follow me how I do the problem. This is a great way to do every problem. Let's make sure that there's no form of laziness amongst us. -4, 1, and 4, 1. All right, so there we go. It says use these points. Okay, we got it. And then letter A says describe the segment HK. Well, to describe it, I'm going to have to graph it, because I don't know what that looks like. I need to graph it, right? Chase, is that what you did? Did you graph it?
Yeah.
Good thinking. Elise, did you graph it? I think you have to in order to see it, you know? I think you have to. Okay. If you don't have if you do have graph paper, wonderful. Just if not, then just make your own little graph here. Okay? I'm not interested that it's so precise. I just want to represent the problem. Okay? All right. So if I'm going to graph HK, where's that? Negative 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, positive 1. There's H. K, 1, 2, 3, 4, positive 1. There's K. Oh, use my wonderful straight edge. It's not a line, so I'm just going to keep it as a segment. Got it, HK. All right, let's answer what it says, though. It says describe the segment and find its length. Okay, looks to me like it's a horizontal segment. I could use the distance formula, but I don't need to. How far is it, Hope, from negative 4 all the way to positive 4? Let me say that again, Hope, so you're following. Okay? How far is it from negative 4 to positive 4?
Isn't it
It is. So you don't need the distance formula, do you? It's 8 units. Any questions on that? All right, I have a question for you. This is kind of a tricky question. Let's ask Landon. He likes tricky questions. Landon, is there such a thing as a negative length or a negative distance? Are you sure? Nicholas, what do you think?
No, since if you're looking at number line,
Uh-huh.
even if it's negative, it's still going to be a positive number.
Positive length.
Yeah.
Nicholas is right. Especially here in geometry, which is different than algebra. Can you have a negative value? Sure. But can you have a negative length? No, not at all. When Maddie Lewis hits a putt that's 4 feet long, that means from where she hits it to the hole, 4 feet long, right? When Maddie accidentally hits the putt too hard, and it goes past the hole and it goes another 2 feet, that's not negative 2 feet. See what I mean? That's 2 feet. In real life, we don't have a negative distance. Oh, from here to my house, it's 8 miles. Well, from my house to here, it's not negative 8 miles. It's still 8 miles. You see the difference? So in algebra, you will have negative values. And we will deal with negative values some in geometry, but usually in the application of the problems, we're dealing with positive numbers. That make sense? Okay. So this is, no matter if I start at H, as Nicholas suggested, and I go from H to K, it's 8. But if I start at K and I go to H, it's still 8. That's the distance. That's the length. Okay? Everyone got it? Sorry.
I just pay my book. I'm not.
Hey, have a great weekend.